Welcome to episode 2 of Tales of Dragon Harvest, a podcast series where we go through some of the shorter stories that fill out the Dragon Harvest universe. Now, these stories belong to bigger stories and bigger worlds than the ones we'll get to experience today or throughout our series. So take the time to allow the world to fill out, take the time to follow along with us and experience the universe for yourself. And check out our longer stories as well. We're presently working on having our first book published, Demon and Witch. We have finished the first draft for that, and we are in the editing phases, which is super sweet. After that, we'll send out query letters and work on finding an agent. We'll keep you guys updated on all of that. Thanks for being a part of this with us. Feel free to sign up on our website, put your email in, and essentially get our newsletter. That'll allow us to give you guys updates as the stories unfold and just be plugged in. So thank you guys for helping support resources like these and just for cheering us on as we go. Thanks for enjoying fun fantasy worlds with us. This is one of the first episodes of Dragon Harvest, Tales of Dragon Harvest. And so we thank you for being here for that as well. And we're just excited to continue to grow this podcast. You'll notice if you're watching that I am wearing the same shirt as I was wearing in episode 1. That is because it is the same day as episode 1 was filmed on. I am going to be filming these in batch when I can, and then editing them as I can and releasing them as I can. So all of those things take time and they will segment apart from each other. But just be aware, I do, or don't be aware, it doesn't really matter. But I do wash my clothes, and I do not wear the same shirt every day. Although that's so campy that I kind of want to. So maybe check back in the next episode. If I'm wearing the same shirt, it's either I had more time than I thought I would after filming this episode to film another one, or I'm only wearing one shirt now. Maybe let me know in the comments which one you think it is. If that happens, I'd be super interested to hear that. This story that we're reading today is called The Man Who Makes Cake and Gives It Away. We're going to be following a character named Frederick, and I won't tell you too much more, other than to say that this is actually set to be chapter 1 of our tale, Demon and Witch, the longer form content that we're working on making the origin story for the whole Dragon Harvest universe. I will tell you, again, we've finished first drafts. We've gone through first edits of this chapter, but there's still a second and third round of edits, as well as when we do acquire an agent, they'll want to speak into that. When we acquire an imprint publishing house, they'll probably want to speak into it. And so I'm giving this to you with an open hand. I'm thoroughly in love with this story. But if you're looking for a final draft, to do that, again, you'll want to sign up for our newsletter. And again, this is only going to be the first chapter, the opening chapter of Demon and Witch, but it gives a very sweet character arc for our guy Frederick today. So with that said, let's hop in and see what's going on deep in the city of Gildervoss. In the city of Gildervoss, amidst the mud huts on the southern end, I find my home. I am a baker of breads, fine, powdered, sweet, sour, soft, and fresh pastries and loaves. My work is art, and I love it. It is what I am known for. It is how I care for my wife and our 2 little ones. Bread is who I am, but it is not all that I am. In truth, behind the shop doors and signs, the counters and the aprons, I am much more than a bread maker. As I said, I am a father. I am a husband. I am in hiding. But I would rather not say more about that at the moment. Being a bread maker is also much more than I am. It's a man I dream of being. A man with a quaint shop, providing goods for others that make them happy. A respected man, not for his might or his glory, but his service. A man who is at peace in his corner of the world. A man who grows peacefully old with the ones he loves. In some ways, bread is a fantasy I made up. Some nights, it feels real. Tonight in the quiet blue, I know it is a dream. I roll over in my sheets and face my wife. She is beautiful and fair. She is sweet and pure. Her ears point gently away from her face. Her eyes are softly closed. Her face is sculpted and yet kind. Carol, I whisper to her. She does not answer. I lift myself onto my elbow. I reach out and my free hand runs through her hair. I lean in and suddenly kiss her forehead. She lies sleeping still. I rise up, like dough in the oven, and tiptoe into the night. I pass by the rooms of my 2 children, peeking in each one as I go. I can almost see the dreams they explore dance above their heads. Figny is no doubt dreaming of dinosaurs. Farah, my little girl, so small and unknowing, still only dreams of one thing: being held by her mother. They look at peace. Maybe the life of a bread maker is a dream for me, but I take great joy in knowing that I've made it a reality for these others. I pray that somehow, after all of this, it stays so. I quietly grab my coat, slipping my arms through its holes. I lace up my boots and push back the curtains of hair tickling my face. Then I take one last look behind me and leave my home. It is a cold night, and the candle lights in the street lamps seem to feel it, waning every few seconds and then returning. I twirl my mustache as much as my fingers will let me, before dipping my hands deep into my jacket pockets. Then I'm off onto the cool, dark, and cobbled streets of Gildervoss. I pass by a drunk sleeping on a bench and walk with a stray dog for a moment or two. Aside from these, there is no company so late in the evening. Just smoke from fireplaces passing into the astral realms above. My knees won't stop shaking. I enter into the tightly wound roadways of the Eastern Housing District. My feet approach a row house, boxed in a line of row houses. 2 taps from the mid-knuckle of my first finger echo through its front door. For a moment, there is nothing. Then I hear shifting behind its ebony frame. Who goes there so late in the night? A deep, muffled voice speaks from behind it. It's Frederick, I tell them. No response comes. I wait a little longer. I know, the voice quivers eventually. Swear to me, I answer. I know, I swear. A tear rolls down my cheek. My hand pounds softly and slowly against the door before resting on it. Tell Stephen, please. This won't work without him. I will. I promise. There is quiet crying behind the door. It is revealed by heavy and shaky breaths. Samson, I call. Yes, my correspondent answers as calmly as he is able. I'm sorry it's come to this. Again, for a moment, there is no answer. Me too, comes through. Me too. I teeter down the front steps and carry myself back onto the road. I feel heavy. I feel small, as if my mass is constituted solely of my bones. Everything else, my muscles, my skin, and the bags under my eyes, they all feel like a heavy coat. They pull me down to the earth. They bury me. The door I had tapped creaks open, but it is far behind me, and I do not look back. I cross down aisles of stone streets that are littered with homes and shops. Homes with families like mine. Shops with people who depend on them to thrive. As I carry on, the forest of buildings grows larger. Single stories turn into towers. I reach the library. It dwells in the heart of Gildervoss, where the buildings are colossal and made of marble and stone. Its front doors are monoliths and knit by enchantment to one another. "Okay, old man," I whisper to myself. "Let's see if you've still got it." I press my hands on both doors, over the magical locking mechanism. "Dunamis," I call. Bursts of energy run out of my palms like red rivers from my fingers, bursting into a cloud of miniature mushrooms. They tear into the door, and with a bang, shatter a hole through them. The stones that remain swivel forcefully open on their hinges. Before me I find long walls separated by halls and halls of books. At their end is a young boy and an old wizard standing atop a balcony. Shock riddles the face of the younger. The elder looks angrily amused. "Explosion," the Odin-esque man greets me. "How long has it been?" I stay standing outside, only for a moment. I feel beads of sweat drip down my spine. In my head, a whisper beckons me back home. It sounds like Carol. I shake it off and step in. "Beringer," I call back to him. "Never long enough, I'm afraid." "Well then," he answers, gliding down the stairway he stands above. "Allow me to send you on your way." Not this time. I grit my teeth. A small spark pops between them. I shift my feet out, shoulder distance. I unlock my knees and drop my weight. Both of my arms roll by my side, fingers clenching invisible currents. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. The wizard lunges forward, a bolt of lightning in the dark. I can't do this. I fight for my life. I fight for my Carol. I fight for sweet Farah and brave little Figny who lay sleeping in their beds. He reaches me faster than I can think. Reflex saves me and I push my left foot back, turning my body to the side. He passes by me. Like wind to a candle, he blows out the energy buildup in my left hand. My head spins to watch him. He lands outside the library on its front steps. His cloak rises as he stands, staring out into the stars above. "This won't do," he mutters. I turn my right arm at him, allowing the energy to build more than my fingers can hold. My left arm grips my wrist for support. Then I release a hurricane of fire at the wizard. He never even looks back at me. He can't have seen it coming. And yet, he's gone. The beam rips into a clothing store across the way. I pull my hand up as I squeeze the beam closed. Its tail tears into the front wall of the library. Higher still is the wizard. He hovers for a moment before crashing down on top of me. He grips my neck with his hand. It is as strong as iron. His boot presses my left arm into the floor. "Are you finished?" he asks. "Someone is going to get hurt." I throw my right arm up, gripping the side of his helmet. There's barely any charge built up, but I give what I have. The bomb pings against his head, and he slides away from me into a bookshelf. I can't help but give a chuckle between coughs. I'm doing better than I thought I would. I roll over and climb up to face him. "You've gotten old," I smile at him. He climbs up from his place of rest. "The portal keeper does not age," he grins, spitting blood out onto his beard. Lightning ripples in his hands. I ready mine too. He lunges in my direction. If you ever arrive in Gildervoss and you find yourself hungry, please head to the Mud District. Go and buy some bread from the shop, loaves and loaves of bread. There will be a widow raising 2 small children there. She will need all the help she can get. Tell her I'm sorry I can't give mine. The library goes up in a ball of flame. This was Chapter 1 of the story Demon and Witch, in which we followed a man named Frederick, who goes to fight the portal keeper, Beringer. If you'd like to know more about this story, again, I would encourage you to check out our website. I would encourage you to sign up for our newsletter. I would encourage you to subscribe to this very podcast and just saturate yourself with the stories of Dragon Harvest. Be ministered by them. I want this to be something that benefits our listeners, our readers. So thanks for being here. Thanks for encouraging me. Let me know what you liked about this story. Are you concerned about Frederick? Is he a character who resonates with you? Are you concerned for his family? What was your favorite thing about this story? Let me know in the comments. I'd be super interested to hear it, or send me an email from our website. Drop a note in our news box. All right. Thanks, guys, for listening, and stay tuned for more tales of Dragon Harvest.